Hello, everybody. I am disturbedcanon, you can call me Disturbed, and today we are playing a new deck, Orzhov tokens in Modern, another budget deck. It just occurred to me that this isn't going to be right on Stream Decker. Let me go ahead and fix that. Stream Decker over here. Ooh, decks, my decks. Let's fix that. Okay, inside is current deck. Let's see it over here. Alrighty then. So, our budget today is going to be 15.47 ticks, apparently, or roughly 15 ticks, call it. We are playing an Orzhov tokens deck, as I said before. And the goal of any kind of tokens deck is to play a bunch of tokens. As you can see, we have a lot of token makers, especially if you consider Tithe Taker over there, though I don't really. Spectral Possession over here. Then we have a bunch of Anthem effects in Tangible Virtue, Force of Virtue, Honor of the Pure. All of which are just to make these 1/1 little tokens into something actually useful. Additionally, you might notice that while most token decks are playing a lot of flying tokens just for the sake of it, we are playing almost entirely flying tokens with only 4 non-flying token producers. So, as an additional card, we're throwing in Saphira Sky's Blade to hopefully give all of our big flying creatures indestructible and just to be a 1-mana 7/7 at some point. The real reason why we're playing Orzhov is just because you can't flash back Lingering Souls for white. You need that black for Lingering Souls, but it does let us throw in things like Fatal Push, Go for the Throat, Duress, Mortify. Just good black cards in general. Additionally, we're going to be playing Mortify and Disenchants in the sideboard to act as extra removal for situations where we need that kind of removal. We're playing 3 Duresses for the control matchups, 3 Nile Spellbombs for the graveyard matchups, Pithing Needles for anytime that we need that as a Silver Bullet, and Damping Sphere exclusively for Tron. Also for Storm, of course, but exclusively for Tron. With the deck tech out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into some practice games. Let me double. I am now. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and jump into some practice games. Today, I don't think that I'm going to go. I'm gonna do an actual league just because I don't want to spend money right now. But we're gonna give this a shot. Lost the die roll. What is going on over here? You go over there. Thank you. Lands, lords, we'll take it. Anthems anyway. Alrighty then. F6 through their turn. Creeping Tarpit. Good luck, by the way, to Ilu Thingle. Let's play Shambling Vince tapped. Just, you know, if they're gonna play a creature land, we might as well, right? No reason not to. Alrighty then. They're almost definitely holding up counter magic. So let's throw this Intangible Virtue into that. We have enough anthems here that we don't care. I'd rather it get counterspelled now than something more valuable down the line. Opt. Alright, so just the fact that they have a basic island tells me that this is probably some kind of Demir control. Grixis control would not be playing a basic island. They might play like a couple, but I doubt they would have one this early. But prove me wrong though. Throw down a red source here, Ilu thing. Polluted Delta? That's not proven me wrong yet. Not gonna crack it yet. Collective Brutality, Duress Mode, Lingering Souls. Fortunately, I can flash that back. Do I want to do that now? I think I do. If they get me here, they get me. But, yay. Tokens. Starting off with the tokens. We have no responses, so we'll just yield through their turn. I'm hoping to draw, not that, hoping to draw some more ways in which to get tokens. I think we fire up this Shambling Vent instead of running out one of my remaining anthems into a counterspell. Blue. Field of Ruin. Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. I don't care. Well, let's start on this Thraben Inspector, see what they want to do. If it eats a counterspell, I'm happy. It does eat a counterspell, but that counterspell is a bad counterspell for them, because I can just go for that, and then Spellstutter Sprite sees 0 fairies on the field. Oh, and they're going to counter the Go for the Throat so they can counter Thraben Inspector. They're using a lot of resources to get rid of that 1/1. Works for me. Works for me, because now I can throw this down without having to worry about them. And 2/2 Flying Vigilance is bigger than 1/1 Flying. I think they definitely overcommitted to getting that to stopping that Thraben Inspector. Alright, I'm gonna go straight to combat here. I'm not gonna run anything out before I get a chance to see what they want to do in the combat step. Because if they want to throw down a Fatal Push, yep, exactly. In the combat step, I want them to do that first. Any kind of removal like that I wanted them to use up. Just so I can see how many cards they have left in their hand. Then we're going to throw out this Legion's Landing and an Honor of the Pure. We're going to keep this Plains back in our hand in case they want to duress us or Thoughtseize us and waste a card. Cryptic. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. Okay. I should have played the Honor of the Pure first, but that's a marginal decision, honestly. Having Honor of the Pure down right now actually is okay, because it also buffs up our Shambling Vent. We're going to play this now so that we can activate Shambling Vent. Do they have a removal spell in hand? Man. They just have so much removal. Let's see how much removal they've played here. If we count counter spells, which in this case we will, because they've been using it on creatures for whatever reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 5. Oh, and Field of Ruin as well. We'll hold this back. We don't need it, and it's good Thoughtseize fodder. We've got so many anthems out right now. We're just looking for a way to get creatures out. Oh, are we really just gonna die to not drawing a token producer? That hurts. We have so many of them in the deck at this point. And we've drawn a lot of lands for this deck. So they're doing some kind of Dimir Fairy control, or at least just Dimir control. Bitter Blossom is probably just a symptom of Dimir control. Yes, yes. Hey, I mean, this is a 10-turn clock, right? That's a way for us to win. Wait 10 turns while they beat us to death first? Yeah. Seeing this is good, though, it does tell us that we want to bring in a Mortify. Ooh, okay. Well, let's start with this intangible virtue. See if they want to counter it. Nope. Are you going to counter this? This is instant, so we really should have cast this later, but I'm just excited. Yep. I doubt they were going to tap out anyway. They haven't been tapping out at all. So they're going to have 3 power to attack us with next turn. Essentially, we need to be able to draw and resolve Lingering Souls, really, is our only option here. Is our only out anymore because they can attack around us. Actually, I think we might survive if we get... Told you. I told you he would run an Inquisition into our lands. That Vindication. If we get Spectral whatever that gives us 3 tokens, we might survive if they don't play anything here. What do they choose? Nope, that's lethal. Yep, that's lethal. Let's go to sideboard. We didn't see any Planeswalkers, didn't see Graveyard, didn't see anything Damping Sphere would care about. We want the Mortify. They don't have any activated abilities of artifacts. Oh yeah, I don't know if Stony Silence was covered in the deck tech, but there it is. So I think we just want Mortify and Duress. The one of, or the most likely 2 to 3 of Bitter Blossom isn't enough to bring in the Disenchants. And I doubt they're going to bring in any artifact or enchantment based hate against us. Spectral Procession. This is the card I was thinking of. What do we want to cut for this, though? Go for the Throat. Doesn't feel great. Fatal Push is okay. We should keep the one of Thraben Inspector, though. So I think Fatal Push is just strictly... no, let's cut the Forces. They're instant speed, so we can get them out on when our opponent taps out. But they're only instant speed on our opponent's turn. Or we're only able to cast them on our opponent's turn. So it makes it a little bit harder for them to for us to get in there when they're actually tapped out. Legion's Landing, turn 1. This is a risky keep. We don't have anything to do turn 2, and we need another land. But being able to resolve a Legion's Landing, one of our 5 1-drops on turn 1, gives us at least something to do, since our opponent has been countering stuff so quickly. What do you want to take, opponent? Everything's about the same value? If Inquisition could hit lands, we'd be screwed here, but... Hi, chat. Against this matchup, yeah. Kide 1, yeah. Lingering Souls feels super big here. If I can get... Like, if I could just draw back-to-back Lingering Souls here, I'd be super, super happy. If I could draw 100 Lingering Souls back-to-back. Assuming I have lands to cast them. I don't have enough lands to cast anything right now. Including that... the opponent is going to draw removal. So this 1 of 1/1 is not going to be enough for us. Just gonna F6 through their turn. Punishment for taking 2 lands, I suppose. We only needed 1 land. We haven't drawn a single land in 3 cards. I suppose I should have mulliganed, but hoping for 1 land is just, in 3 draws, is just such a reasonable thing in my mind. Well, that's something we can cast into a counterspell. I don't like this matchup overall, I think. Yep, because they can do stuff like that, where they're able to develop just a little bit of incidental value here and there. And since each one of our cards is intended to be doing several cards worth of work, blowing up 1 card feels really... like, countering 1 of these cards feels really bad. Especially when you have a Battle Screech that you need creatures on board in order to flash back. Of course, we haven't gotten that far yet. We're still stuck on 2 lands, with a insulting Legion's Landing unflipped on the battlefield. Well, that's something for them to counter. Oh, they're gonna let me get the clue. Well, hey. Thank you, opponent. I'm sure you had a counterspell for that. Actually, it didn't seem like they did. Oh, okay, Fatal Push. I don't really care. I wanted the clue more than the creature. Our opponent has done way more damage to themselves than we have to them. We've done 3 damage to them. They've done... I guess... 5? And it has been totally irrelevant. Alright, well, let's crack this. Try and get a land. Still not a land. Oh, god dang it. Alright, well, these duresses are at least okay if we ever draw land. We'll keep these just as a thing that we can do. Midnight Haunting. Oh, cancel, sorry. I thought I was in my discard step. Midnight Haunting. Safari is so good if we ever get around to casting it, so I think we just drop Honor of the Pure here. So now we've seen 15 cards and still, finally a land. Alright. Well, I think our plan here is just gonna be... Let's actually duress. See what's in our opponent's hand. We can run out this intangible virtue afterwards. Spell stutter sprite, okay. I think we hold off on playing this intangible virtue until next turn. We'll try to duress again. Our opponent's board is something, but it's going to take them a little while to kill us with it. Even with us helping them out with the caves. Another one. Well, dang, I wish we had a board wipe. I wish we even ran board wipes in this deck. Okay. Well, that's 3 counter spells out of our opponent's hand. And they're dealing 6 to us here, down to 8. Which obviously hurts rather badly. Oh, and a tap land. Okay. Well, let's start by Spectral Procession. If we can resolve this... It's obvious that I'm paying all white mana MTGO. If we can resolve this, we can at least trade off. Nope, gonna counter it. Alright. I feel like we've just drawn absolutely awfully this game. And I'll take the loss here, yeah. There we go. We've just truly drawn awful. Oh, and I need to track that as a loss. See, now I'm scared to keep 2 landers. But we're going to keep this one. We have 3 2-drops. All of which we want to resolve, so... Good luck to you, Wet TV. Which does not seem like an effective... not an effective TV if it's wet. Oh, is this going to be control as well? I hope not. I do hope not. I'm just going to F6. No 1-drop feels bad, but we're not running a whole lot of 1-drops. There's not really a whole lot of room for 1-drops when you're trying to put this many anthems and token creators in the deck. Which is fine. I would like to be able to play something on turn 1. Well, this definitely looks like Azorius control, though it's rare for them to tap out. Let's get down this Tithe Taker. This is actually a really good matchup for Tithe Taker. The other one was as well, but we never drew it. Alright. We see an Arid Mesa doesn't necessarily mean they're Jeskai, but it does hint at that, doesn't it? Ah, well, Steam Vince does mean they're Jeskai. So now we know. What kind of Jeskai, though, is the question now. Jeskai that runs Electrolyze. Okay. Well, I think we put down Honor of the Pure here. Let's throw down Intangible Virtue. I love the Orzhov Spirit art. Can I just point that out to everyone for a second? I love the art on this card. I wish this were an actual card that I could play, but I'll accept it as a token. It's weird to me that they played Electrolyze on our turn, or on their turn, I mean, when it's an instant. Could have just been a misplay, could have just been they felt comfortable enough with us not playing anything that they could interact with. Well, let's go to combat first, as you do, and we'll cast things in main phase 2. See what they want to do in main phase here. If they want to tap out or spend mana to get rid of this spirit, thank you. I might. Yes, of course I want a land. Please give me a land. I honestly want that land more than I want more than I want the spirit. Well, now do we I think we're going to leave up this Midnight Haunting, do that on their end step. Because it definitely felt like they were leaving up counterspell mana there. Negate mana. Can't know that, but you know. Don't want to find out if I don't have to. I'm also tempted to put down this Force. Possibly exiling Honor of the Pure. Cryptic. Okay. Well, that taps them out. I think in response we're going to go ahead and cast this Force by exiling Honor. Force of Virtue is actually a little bit of an underrated card as far as the forces go. Obviously not Force of Negation by any means, but it's definitely still a good card. I think my goal here is just going to be to get down as many creatures as I can. And this Legion's Landing to act as ramp next turn. Or at least to flip it next turn, right? Because now we've suddenly got a 2-turn clock on the field while they're looking at us with nothing but a Celestial Colonnade. Supreme Verdict, okay. Well, hopefully we draw a black land. Nope. Okay. Well, we can still Legion's Landing. Keep the new Legion's Landing. And Lingering Souls. There's no point in really casting Battle Screech here, because that's a card I want to be able to cast and flash back in the same turn as a way to just flood the board when they're not expecting it. And we only need 3 creatures for this Legion's Landing. Snapcaster. Grabbing Electrolyze. Oh, Cryptic Bounce. Supreme Verdict. Okay. I mean, that's one way to do it. That's a lot of resources just to board wipe. But that's fine. Well, that'll be a Lingering Souls next turn. And then we can flash back Battle Screech as well. They're running out of things to do at this point. Did they grab a card here? Nope. I zoned out there for a second, wasn't paying attention to what they did. But they just fetched. Yep. So 3 cards in hand, paying costs. Big Teferi. I imagine they're gonna plus? No, they're gonna minus to kill one of my birds. Lightning bolt for the other one, okay. They're spending a lot of resources on just very little in my mind. But they are keeping the board clean, so I mean that is something. And I can't cast this Battle Screech now. So that is something. I need to draw more token producers. If I could get just a constant stream of token producers right now, that would be great. They have their Kanta here, which is a problem. Looks like they're going to activate it. Yep. See what they reveal here. Lightning Helix, okay. Blow up another spirit. We haven't seen any kind of win condition besides Teferi. So this is just straight up Jeskai control. Path of Spirit. Well, that gets a land out of our deck. They're down to 1 card in hand, and we know it's not the Lightning Helix. And we draw another land. They're not going to duress us, they're not in black, but I'm obligated to keep the land in hand for best practices anyway. We don't ever need more than 6 lands. There's Kanta-ing again. I would like to have this Legion's Landing flipped so that we can start making vampire tokens, and it's irking me that we can't get it to flip because they keep blowing things up. What did they reveal here? Cryptic, okay. At this point, I think if we don't draw, I don't think there's anything we can draw because we know they have a counterspell in hand now. And they have Azcanta, we can't, yeah. We're just going to go on to game 2 here. I could just keep playing it till they ran down their timer, but I'm not going to do that. So, 2 straight matchups against control. Feels bad. We're pulling all of our removal out because we've not seen anything that we can even remove. Do we want to bring in Pithing Needle for the Teferis? I think we do. Force of Virtue actually feels really good here, but I don't think we can cut both of it. So let's cut the Mortify. We don't really need the Mortify. We've not seen anything that we can hit it with. I'm just assuming that they're going to bring in something that we can mortify. Yeah, we'll keep this. We're going to hold this Pithing Needle. We're going to start the landing, then go to Tithe Taker. Turn 1 Legion's Landing feels good. Gives us something to do. We don't have another way to make creatures except Tithe Taker. Serum Visions. Generally, any kind of Azoria / Jeskai control cuts all those Serum Visions for opts. So that's interesting, but probably just a personal choice. Or this could be a net decked thing and the original player really liked Serum Visions. It's a good way to fix draws early on, though. Generally, control decks like this would rather keep their mana up turn 1. Alright, so we're just gonna attack with all creatures. Main phase 2. Play Lingering Souls. It definitely felt like they had a spell snare there to counter a 2 CMC card, which meant it wasn't going to be smart to run an Intangible Virtue into that. Ooh, and we get to flip the Legion's Landing here. Well, now that they're tapped out, dropping this Intangible Virtue pre-combat so that we can get in twice as much damage. Then flip this Legion's Landing and get out the Tithe Taker. Gonna hit myself there. There we go. This go around feels a lot better. Just having things on the board feels nice. Serum Visions again. Like I was saying, Opt is just a better card in control, as you can wait till the opponent's instep instead of having to tap your mana on your turn. Just not something you want to be doing in a control deck. If you can help it. I'm also a fan of Thought Scour, but that's usually if you have something that you need a full graveyard for. Electrolyze. Granted, with our Tithe Takers, Opt would feel bad, but they're not building their deck around having to fight off Tithe Takers. They're building their deck around being instant speed and being. I think because we have lethal, I'm just gonna pass so that if they board wipe, I can just Adonto the first fort here, make a new 2/2 on their instep, and threaten lethal again. Serum Visions is not a board wipe, mind you. Having the... Okay, begin sideboarding. We're just going to run it back exactly like that. What I was about to say is having the Intangible Virtue to make it so that he couldn't just electrolyze 2 of our creatures was really nice. Can't hear me? Why can't you hear me? My mic is on this time. My mic is on this time. I don't know what to do about that. I'm streaming, my mic's on. That's all I have control over. Do you want to check your volume? Okay, let's see what we've got here. I don't think we can keep this. We do have a Pithing Needle. It's okay. It's a good hand if we can draw a third land. I think I keep this. I think we just drop Pithing Needle turn 1. Well, actually, now I want to hit the Celestial Colonnade with Pithing Needle. What am I hitting here? I think hitting Teferi is still just so much more important. Okay, so if you can, if Mr. Shy here can hear me, then it's not my bad. It's not on my end, I think. I hope. Well, let's throw this intangible virtue to the wolves here. To the counter spells. Grabs a basic island, not a steam vince, okay. Logic not. X equals 1. Okay. You do that. I think... Yeah. Yeah, we'll let you do that. No, I cannot pay 1 for logic not. I'm gonna hold this Force of Virtue back. There's a steam vince. Maybe they had it in their hand and only had 1 of. No, they had 2. They have 2. So they just wanted a basic island for some reason. I'm gonna hold this Force of Virtue back in my hand until I know that I can have enough mana for Spectral Possession. I'm gonna let that go. So that on their instep, I can throw Force of Virtue at them, and when they counter that, I'll be able to drop Spectral Possession. But since I don't know if I'm going to draw a land, which I already missed a land drop, Electrolyze, okay. I don't want to be throwing a Force of Virtue out, getting it countered for no value. I definitely feel like they kept it to Teferi hand, so... I think we play Intangible Virtue here. There's no real point in running another Legion's Landing out. They're going to counter whatever I play anyway. And there's a decent chance that they have just a bunch of removal in hand, since they know what we're playing at this point. Control definitely does not feel like a good matchup overall. We have several good pieces. Cryptic Draw, okay. But it doesn't feel... Because we can get so easily, effectively 3-for-1'd by a counterspell, it definitely doesn't feel great. I would like a land just so that I can pass. A land, finally. Thank you. So we're going to just pass through. Going to cast this Force of Virtue, probably off the Legion's Landing, and Midnight Haunting on their instep. See what they're willing to counter and how much of it. We do want the Force of Virtue to resolve, of course, but I'd rather have creatures on the board to flip Legion's Landing. Than I would just have no creatures get +1/+1, you know? Midnight Haunting being instant becomes super relevant at times like this. It's definitely, in most situations, our worst token creator, because all of our other token creators can create anywhere from 3 to 4 tokens, and it only ever creates 2, but it being instant does have value. Cryptic mana, 5/6, tapping out. Alright, you do that. Midnight Hunting. No, I'm not going to pay 4 mana I don't have. Ooh, okay. I think it's still better here just to drop Spectral Possession while they're tapped out, but they very well could have a board wipe. Let's drop Honor of the Pure now. That way if they tap out next turn for board wipe, we can hopefully resolve that Spectral Procession. And 2/2/2 flyers is actually a clock against control. Well, go to combat. Lightning bolt, okay. Because they're not going to have any duress effects, we don't need to worry about keeping lands in our hand. Not that we keeping a land in our hand would do anything with our current hand. There's plenty to get duressed. But you know what I mean. I don't think we're ever going to be able to hardcast this Safara, but path. Okay. Yep, I'll take the land. Well, let's run this Lingering Souls out. I think we do, yeah. No point being scared of a counterspell at this point. It can only get worse as they draw more cards. Snapcaster Cryptic, okay. I also love the art on this card. Not as much as the Orzhov token, though. Our best draw here would be a black land. I'd even take Concealed Courtyard, even though it would come in tapped, just so we can get back this Lingering Souls. What did they do here? One card bottom, one card top. So we know that they're drawing something good next turn, most likely a counterspell. Colonnade? Yep. Well, that's good for us, because that means that they're tapped out. And what a turn to be tapped out. Keep the new one. Yep. Oh, cancel. Oh, with flying. God dang. God dang. Wasn't paying too much attention. Storm Visions. Lightning Helix. Colonnade? Nope. Interesting. There's our black source. Yeah. I think it's worth trading off this vampire to flip Danto. Or Legion's Landing, I suppose. And now we have a 2-turn clock, which is something. I think this Pithing Needle is sneakily helping us out a lot, because I feel like they have to have a Teferi in hand. At this point, they're nearly halfway through the deck. Okay. Still have a 2-turn clock. Oh, no. They gained a bunch of life. I wasn't even paying attention. Had a 2-turn clock. Celestial Colonnade, okay. Gonna trade off for probably the Spirit, I imagine. Well, let's go ahead and Lingering Souls. Battle Screech. I'm not playing around a board wipe here because of Sephara. If they board wipe, we pretty much only lose Sephara and our vampire token. Yay, we win! So 1 win, 1 loss versus control so far. I will take it. Well, apparently we did slightly better against Jeskai Control. Slightly better. Got mopped the floor with Dimir Control. I'd say we are not favored in control matchups. We just happened to get lucky that last game, that last match. They definitely have a significant advantage against us, just in the, like I keep saying 100 times over, they just have the ability to counter a single spell and effectively destroy 3 creatures, which is huge. Or counter a Anthem effect and remove 3 power off the board. Their counter spells are just so effective against us. We got lucky, I think, that we just were able to... Yes, I'd love to play first. We were able to get decent draws. We can't keep this against our opponent. Oh, and I can't keep that either. 1 lander? No. Especially with only 3 drops. I think we have to keep this, We can ship back Safara and Intangible Virtue. Oh, did I just pass through my turn? I thought I was first. No, turn. Yep. I passed through my turn. Oops. Well, we're playing against an Inquisition deck. Okay, Concealed Courtyard. Hopefully passing through our first turn doesn't do any doesn't hurt us too bad. Most definitely will, but hopefully it doesn't. I imagine they're going to counterspell of some sort. Looks like we're playing against Dimir Control again. Good luck to no gain or loss. It's not the same Dimir Control player, but it definitely feels like Dimir Control. Oh, yep, strip mine checking, and you're correct. I have no basic black sources. Only basic white sources. Most of our black cards are in the sideboard, or removal spells, which we don't really need to cast on turn, on curve. I'm going to play Honor of the Pure here, act like we don't have another black source for the Lingering Souls. Essentially get their hopes up. Oh, you're gonna thought seize my hand. Oh no. With only lands. Well, that gives them more information than I wanted them to have, but I was hoping that they would think they were in the clear and could tap out. I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this Shambling Vent. Shambling Vent is an uncounterable creature for us. Spell Stutter Sprite. Well, that makes me wonder if they had any other counter spells, because Spell Stutter Sprite wouldn't hit a Lingering Souls. Well, another Intangible Virtue does not help us much here. Fatal Push, okay. That is the best 1-mana strip mine I've ever seen. So we're going to keep this land in hand because we know they're playing discard. Let them waste it on nothing. We're just going to pass. Again, Midnight Haunting, I am the happiest to see Midnight Haunting when we are playing against a control deck. They're going to Petty Theft our Honor of the Pure? How dare they? I'm going to make 2 1/1s. 2 2/2s with Vigilance. Alright, well, Brazen Burrow is definitely an interesting card to see when they're playing Spell Stutter Sprite in Dimir Control colors. They might be playing a kind of fairy control deck that is just playing a bunch of instantly good fairies, like Spell Stutter Sprite. Well, let's just run these guys out. Not gonna flashback Lingering Souls once again, because I don't want it countered. Well, if I'd known it was Spell Stutter Sprite, I would have cast Lingering Souls. Should have kept up Caves of Cold. Koilos. Anyway, that was a bad choice on my part. Just in case. So that was a bad choice on my part. I still think the better option was just to play 2 anthems. But giving myself the freedom to choose is always important. Again, they always run discard spells into nothing. I always love that. It's very important. Very helpful. Petty theft, okay. Well, they're tapped out now. Which is funny, because that's an instant. They just wanted to get in for 2 damage. Which is fine. I am very happy if they want to get in for 2 damage. They can do that all they want. Shocking a water grave. What are they playing? I almost feel bad for my opponent at this point, but anyone who gets to cast 4 discard wins the match. They're done. They were just done. I don't even know if I should count that as a win. I'm going to. I'll take what I can get. But they don't even want a sideboard. They're just done with me. $71 cards in the library. Well, we're gonna see some jank here, folks. Let's see what jank we're playing against. I hope it's jank. I hope it's not just someone who accidentally put 11 extra cards in the library, because, you know, I'd rather see some interesting reason as to why they have 11 extra cards. And not just that they're a newer player and don't understand that 11 extra cards is bad. Well, anyway, good luck to Dylan Matulis. Mr. Matulis over here. Good luck to you. If you can decide on whether or not you want to play first. Oh. Well, anyway. I'm just gonna sit here with my cold cup of coffee as they make the hardest decision of their lives. Truly. It's hard to know whether to go first sometimes, you know? It truly is. I just now noticed that says, "Hey, Mr. Cannon." You can just call me Disturbed. It's a more accurate description anyway. Well, this isn't a tournament. I'm tempted to just concede, move on. I think I do that, yeah. At 22 even, I'm gonna exit out and move on. We're not here to watch somebody else time out. And I'm not willing to open up another game while that one's going, just in case they come back at, 10 minutes left and suddenly I'm playing 2 games. Not gonna happen. Stay slapped. Oh, I love the Nicol Bolas on here. Okay, good. Schemes of Nicol Bolas. Good luck to you, stay slapped. Good luck to you. This is a good hand on our part. All we need is a land, and we've got 3 draws to find it. Mountain. Mountain say go. Alright. Do I want to leave up Fatal Push? I think I'd just play Shambling Vents tapped. Because there's no telling if I get another land off the top. We're playing 23 lands. I can't believe we're having this much land trouble. Literally more than a third of our deck is lands. Kiln Fiend. I don't even think I care. I should care though. I'll wait till they commit to the board first though. Let's just play Plains and pass. So I can Fatal Push it. It's not like I need to get out this Anthem this instant. Manamorphose. They're really gonna commit then. Manamorphose. Oh wow. Are they going for the turn? The one hit kill? Monastery Swift Spear. Okay. Manamorphose. Okay. I'm gonna wait till they move into combat to kill this Kiln Fiend. Just as a precaution in case they want to Thud with it. Alright, Lightning Bolt. Well, Thud's 2 mana, so that's out now, but just good practice as well. Light up the stage, okay. So we're still going to take a hit of 4 here, but it's not going to be lethal. I'm glad I decided to keep up Fatal Push, you know. Don't really want to die to a 16-2 Kiln Fiend. Well, I think what we do here is we Caves, Lingering Souls, and then next turn we're going to Intangible Virtue, Flashback Lingering Souls. They've spent so many of their resources just on that one turn because they expected to kill us. They really overcommitted to it, but I get it. So I'm not super concerned about just dying outright here. Lava Spike us, okay. Wild Slash. Well, I guess I'm wrong there. Looks like they are going to be able to just... Oh, Lava Dart actually is a real problem here. Because that can blow up our spirits. Yep. Yep. Alright, they know what they're doing. Concede. No need to wait any longer. Alright. So, what do we do about that? Damping Sphere actually is great against our opponent. Anything else we want to bring in? Mortify, kinda, but feels a little slow. I don't think we have to hit anything else. Nile's Spellbomb is okay. It hits their flashback spells, but they don't have a whole lot of those. Safari feels way too slow here. I think we just run it back like that. I would love to play first. Thank you, game. Damping Sphere. Yeah, we'll keep this. I will happily keep this. No use in telling them that we have caves in our hands. Let's see. Caves, colorless, Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere is actually a great card against this kind of deck. Because when they're wanting to cast Lava Dart twice a turn plus Manamorpho, suddenly Damping Sphere makes everything cost 100. Prowess decks are essentially just Storm and Burn combined together. See, now he can't cast anything. And he's learning that. We're gonna run out this Midnight Hunting on when they're not expecting it. They've already cast a spell. You can't cast anything. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, opponent. You can't cast anything. We're gonna play this Caves, pass the turn, run out this Midnight Hunting on their end step, or if there's a justifiable reason to in combat, I guess. And then we'll hope for a land so we can Battle Screech, Battle Screech. Now one mana spells cost 2 mana opponent. And you can't Manamorphose. I don't think I've ever seen a Monastery Swift Spear attack and deal 1 damage. Light up the stage for 2 mana. Well, that taps them out, so we're going to go ahead and run out this Midnight Hunting. Midnight Hunting, there we go. Let's see what they exile here. Wild Slash Blood Moon. Well. I think in that case we go ahead and Intangible Virtue. Give our Spirits Vigilance. Get in the air and hold back this Fatal Push to do it at instant speed. We can't cast it this turn, of course, but we can cast it on our opponent's turn. Blood Moon? Oh, well, in that case... Come on, game, give me my chance to respond. Thank you. Let's go ahead and Fatal Push Soulscar Mage. And now our opponent can't cast anything anymore. Which, and well, I suppose they haven't played a land yet, so they could play a land and cast something. Right? Don't know if they've played a land yet, actually. Decide they don't want to trade off the Swift Spear for a Spirit. Well. Do we want to run out this Tithe Taker, or do we want to run out an Honor of the Pure? I think we just want to run out an Honor of the Pure. It feels nice to not be playing against control, because now I can just play things and not have to worry about them getting countered. We are off of black mana for the rest of the game, however, because we don't have any basic black sources. We don't really need them in the deck. It's not like the deck runs on a lot of things that need black mana. I'm not going to block this. They're obviously going to pump it. And I don't want to get blown out here. They wouldn't attack a 2-3 into a 3-3. That just wouldn't make sense. They can't cast this Wild Slash anymore, so that's helpful to us. Well. Let's go ahead and attack with our Spirits first, since they have Vigilance. I think we're going to Battle Screech, then Flashback Battle Screech, since they don't have any good board wipes in mono red that we have to worry about. They do definitely have lightning bolts though, and it looks like they're considering it. Yep, lightning bolt. Yeah, well, they were wanting to lightning bolt one of my spirits if I double blocked and kill the other one in combat. And they're gonna lightning bolt the other one. Okay. You do that, opponent. Honestly, this is 6 damage not coming at my face. I am super happy with that. Planes. Now, I think we still Battle Screech. Because now our opponent just spent 2 lightning bolts on nothing. On fizzling an attack, effectively. At least for all the board state it changed, right? Alright, Lava Dart. Costs 1 now. Costs 2 next. Bedlam Reveler. Okay. Get a full grip that you can't cast because you only have 1 land. Waiting to pay costs? No, you're not, opponent. I do kind of feel bad, you know? But Damping Sphere is just... This is one of the reasons why Damping Sphere is in here. Alright, let's double check Lava Dart's text. Flashback Sacrament. So we can't actually flashback Lava Dart. Yeah, so I have to double block this Monastery Swift Spear. I think I do that. I think I'm okay with that. Because he can buff his Swift Spear again, and it'll become a 3-4, which will be just enough to kill a bird. Without dying, of course. But I'm willing to trade off a bird for the Swift Spear at this point. with that Bedlam Reveler out. Oh, he's just gonna let it go. Just gonna let it go. Okay. That works for me. I'll accept that. Well, let's do combat first. Battle Screech. And then flashback Battle Screech. Ah, crap. Never mind, I can't. Now I can. Tap the summoning sick ones just because. So, opponent that is super lethal on board, what do you got for me? Crash through, okay. I do think Mono Red Prowess is a very strong deck, especially at the moment. 5 lands up. Lava Spike. Bring me down to 9 with a 5/6 on the board. With trample. 5/6 with trample. And light up the stage for 3 mana. And a 6/7. Well, that's game, opponent. I'm just gonna do the GGs in the chat. Yep. Run it back. No changes. We've not seen anything that would merit changes. As far as we can tell, it's just a basic mono red deck. Mono red prowess. This is a good game, smiley face opponent. I'm enjoying myself. I am enjoying myself. Gotta say. Concealed Courtyard, Fatal Push turn 1, go for the throat. I'll keep this. I'll keep this, yeah. Yep, turn 1 Swift Spear, as they are wont to do. Concealed Courtyard, yep. We've got 2 removal spells in hand, which feels good. No Damping Sphere, which is sad. Which is sad. But, Fatal Push, go for the throat, feels good. Let's hope they overcommit again. If they're just going to poke me for 1, I'm going to let it go through. There's no point in killing the Swift Spear over 1 damage. I'd rather wait until they overcommit. We're going to light up the stage. Okay. Rough hand, opponent? No lands? Maybe? Lava Spike, Lava Spike. Oh, they're probably stuck on lands. Yep, they missed a land drop. Well, we're just gonna pass it back and force a virtue on their instep. This is why you don't keep 1-landers, people. I kept a 2-lander and this happened to me. Well, they've looked at so many cards at this point, and they still don't have a land? Oh, that feels bad. I am going to go ahead and Fatal Push them at this point. And then I will Force of Virtue cast by exiling... I think I exile this redundant Battle Screech. And the land right off the top. We have the Midnight Haunting in hand, so we're just going to wait till they're in step. Do everything at instant speed that you can. If it says instant on it, cast it on your opponent's in step. I'm glad to see that they weren't able to cast those lava spikes. That's 6 damage they can't throw at my face, which is great. Always great. They found their second land, though, which is less great for me. It's good for them. Good for the opponent. Proud of them. We can exit out of this because they can't cast that. Midnight Hunting. Okay. Ooh. Will. Again, they don't have board wipes. So I think we battle Screech now. And then we're going to flash it back. That's why we're doing it pre-combat. Just make the attack step easier. There we go. And then next turn we'll throw down this Honor of the Pure and attack for, I think, lethal. 6 times 3, yeah, that's lethal. So, opponent needs to get rid of some of our creatures at this point. Metamorphose, okay. They either have to kill us or get rid of our creatures. Metamorphose, okay. They kept... I see why they kept 1 land now if they had 2 Metamorphose in hand. Crash through, okay. Still 2 mana left. 4/5 Trampler. 5/6 Trample First Strikers. 1 mana left. Oh, and it looks like they're going to light up the stage post-combat. Yeah, no blocks. You go for it, opponent. In addition to there being no point in blocking, I'm also not going to block. Not when I have lethal on board. If I don't. Waiting to pay costs. Lava Dart, okay. That's not lethal. Alright. Honor of the Pure. GG. GG. Okay. That's another win in our book. 3-1 at this point. And we've been playing against some actually meta decks, you know? We've been playing against Dimir control, Jeskai control, Mono Red Prowess. We've been playing real decks, and we're doing okay. Our only loss right now is to Dimir control, and honestly, well deserved. I don't think we had much of a chance against them. This is one of those, if I draw a land, we're doing great hands, which I think I'll keep. I think I'll lead on this Shambling Vent. Sorry for that noise in the background. My dog child is eating. It's his dinner time. Well, what do you Inquisition here, opponent? I know I'd take the Spectral Procession here. That's definitely what they should take. But they're going to take an Intangible Virtue. That's... Hey, you know? Oh, and there's the land, see? never, only once punished. Only punished earlier in the day. You know, if sometimes people just really hate certain cards. Maybe he just really hates intangible virtue, you know? Maybe that's why he wanted to get rid of it. Who knows? So it looks like we're playing against Jund, which is fine. Don't really care about Jund here. Jund is not a huge threat, I don't think. We're not doing anything that helps them, and they're not doing anything that helps us. I think they interact with us a lot better than we interact with them, so that's something. They definitely have more removal, but our ability to just dump creatures on the field, and the fact that they can't counter anything, means that we're gonna hopefully just be able to outvalue them. Outvalue the value deck. I think this is going to be the last match for us today. I know we're stopping at 5 instead of 6, but I'm feeling, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty happy with how we're feeling. By the way, good luck to you, MTG Theorist. Forgot to say that. Discard a card. Well, Battle Screech comes back. Lingering Souls we get a discount for, but I want to cast Lingering Souls. We can actually cast Battle Screech next turn if it's in the graveyard, which is cool. Off this Spectral Possession. So that Kolaghan's command kind of helped us. Thanks, opponent. Thank you. How do 5/2/2 Flying Vigilance creatures feel on turn 3, opponent? Opponent, are you okay with 5/2/2 Vigilance flying creatures? Does that sound like a good matchup? We don't quite have lethal next turn. If they don't do anything to our board, we can bring them down to 2, which is close, but no cigar. We're fortunate in that most of the removal, especially the main deck removal, is single target. So when we dump 5 creatures all at once, it's hard for them to deal with it. This Bob actually might be our win condition. If we bring them down to 2, this Bob might just kill them. Dark Confident is Bob, for those who don't know. Dark Confident is definitely not the card they wanted to draw here. I'm going to go ahead and Honor of the Pure and Legion's Landing. This Legion's Landing will flip. Unlikely we'll need it, but, has value. Alright. Opponent, you're going to 2. What are you going to do about it? Let's just see if they die off their own Dark Confidant. I really hope they die off their own Bob. That'd be great. Let's see what they reveal. Oh! Yes. Okay. Awesome. That's enough. I can lose now. That's all I wanted. Alright, so what do we want here? Since they're playing Jund, Nile Spellbomb might have value just to weaken a Tarmogoyf. Besides that, I think we don't really have anything specific to what they're doing. Safara has value. Everything else has value. I don't think there's anything we want to cut here. I don't think there's anything we want to make room for Nile Spellbomb with. Maybe one Thraben Inspector for a Nile Spellbomb. And a Tithe. No. And an Honor of the Pure for a Nile Spellbomb. At worst, it's an extra draw. MTG Theorist. Are they a streamer? I think they're a streamer, aren't they? Okay. Let's see what we've got in hand here. Legion's Landing, Tithe Taker, then Battle Screech on 4. I think we keep this. I think we keep this. We're probably going to get picked apart by hand disruption. Blackcleave Cliffs. Yep. Inquisition. Yep. Don't know why I knew it was Inquisition instead of any of the multitude of other options, but I just did. Just felt it. Oh well. Taking the Tithe Taker. Okay, so looks like they probably have a removal heavy hand, because otherwise this Legion's Landing would probably look more threatening. Meant to click Concealed Courtyard. Misclicked. That's okay. It'll still come in untapped next turn. We're just gonna F6 because we got nothing to do here. We got nothing to do here with our opponent. Again, we don't really interact well with what they're doing. Our biggest advantage here is just that we can dump more creatures on the field than they have removal spells. If they ever draw a board wipe, however, that'll be a thing. Wrenn 6, okay. That is removal spell. That is 3 removal spells, essentially. 4 if they get to tick it up, which they will. Draw. They took my 2 drops. So my hand's a lot worse than it was. But I knew they were going to. I knew. That's just always how that works. Didn't want to land here. We're already flooded as it is. I don't think we're ever going to hardcast this Safara. And we already have enough mana to hardcast the Battle Screech, so... Well, they get to get back the Verdant Catacombs. I don't understand why somebody would run both Wrenn 6 and Bob, honestly. Well, Inquisition's blank. Can't hit anything I have. I don't understand why you would run Wrenn 6 and Bob in the same deck. Wrenn 6 is just a better Dark Confidant across the board. Because if you're playing Dark Confidant, the only card you ever want to draw is a land. Truly. So Wrenn 6 says +1 best Dark Confidant hit, -1 deal a damage, just as an incidental, and then it has a win condition stapled to the bottom. So if you wanted to have Bob in your deck, you should just play full Wrenn 6. And we see that in a lot of Jundlists. So seeing a Jundlist with both Bob and Wrenn 6, I wonder if they're running full Wrenn 6, maybe 1 of Bob or 2 of Bob, and just had a really unlucky hit with their spin earlier, with their Cascade. Three, 4 mana. Bloodbraid. Spinning into Liliana of the Veil. Okay, we really didn't want to see that card. We do have lands to discard to it, fortunately. But if we can't get another way to get untapped flyers on the field, this Safari is going to have to go eventually. They discard a land. The same land they picked up with Wrenn and 6. Fair enough. Yeah, Wrenn and 6 and Liliana of the Veil, their pluses together are very powerful. Between them, yep. Between them, you gotta just say, you get a lot of control over your own setup, essentially, your own hand. We're gonna battle Screech here. They're definitely gonna minus on one of our birds, which is gonna suck. But it's pretty much the only thing we can do. Even a Shambling Vent at this point doesn't do anything. Because they would happily turn that Bloodbraid Elf into a kill target Shambling Vent. You know? And Plague Engineer to kill the birds. Well, fortunately, most of our flyers are spirits. It just turns off our battle screeches until we get an Anthem. Yep. Discarding a Plains. Gonna try and get this Shambling Vent out, even though it's pretty much useless. I can at least turn it in, use it to block the Plague Engineer or something along those lines. And it is life gain, which is valid in this game. I might end up arena scooping here in a minute, because I don't know how much I want to fight them at this point with no value on board. Well, there's a Plains to discard to Liliana, and we'll just pass. Because we've seen how this deck is good at grinding in certain matchups, but they're able to do so much in that Wrenn and 6 ultimate. Well, it won't do anything right now, but it could potentially do something. Shambling Vent having lifelink is rather relevant. Each player discards card. Yep. What's funny here is in 2 turns, if we had those 2 lands we discarded, we could hardcast Safara. 7/7 flying lifelink. Then it would just get Assassin's Trophy, though. You know. You know how it do. They have too much value going at this point for us to really win, but we are going to see what our next couple draws are. Just going to F6 the F6 through our turn, apparently. And see what our opponent's up to. This Liliana ultimate will also kill us. Just being able to blow up half of our lands is enough at this point. I've honestly been feeling like Legion's Landing is really good in control matchups. Doesn't really do anything in situations like this, though, where we can't get a creature on board. It's good if we can flip it in control matchups, but in control-y matchups like this, I know Jund is mid-range, but ignore that, where we can't get a creature on the board, having an unflipped Legion's Landing it feels so bad. It doesn't matter which one we discard, they're the same. They know what we have in hand. I don't know why they think we care about discarding. At this point, we're not going to be able to get either of them out. I meant to shambling right here, yeah. That's fine. Yep. I think we concede here. I was going to concede there anyway. Well, we don't have any good answers for planeswalkers except for Pithing Needle. I should have brought Pithing Needle in. I knew that they would Jund. I don't know why. Just because I didn't see any planeswalkers doesn't mean they don't have them. They're Jund. Of course they do. Pithing Needle is just strictly better than Nile Spellbomb. We didn't even see them play a Tarmogoyf either game. They still have to be running it, of course, but I'm gonna bring in. No, I can't pull out any removal just because we know that they have a Tarmogoyf. They have to. Jund without Tarmogoyf would be very strange. Yeah, I'd love to play first. Thank you. Yeah. Well, we're good against Inquisition. Inquisition doesn't bother us a whole lot. And we can Fatal Push a Tarmogoyf if they play one. If they play one. And we have a Go for the Throat. We have a lot of removal. So here's to hoping that, you know, they draw a creature heavy hand and not a planeswalker heavy hand. Inquisition? Yep. I've actually not seen them play Thoughtseize. They've drawn a lot of Inquisitions, but I don't think I've seen them play Thoughtseize yet. Okay. Caves and Chaos. I know that's giving them information, but I do want the caves out. So I don't care. The right choice here would have been to play the planes, I suppose, but I don't care. Inquisition. Wow. 2 Inquisitions. That means their hand is just as bad as ours. Well, we get a plains here and pass. They know we have nothing, so that's something. We've drawn 1 card since the last Inquisition. They know we have nothing. I will Fatal Push pretty much anything, I think. Nile Spellbomb. Do they think we do care what's in our graveyard? Nile Spellbomb is a bit of a sign that they might be playing not playing Tarmogoyf, I mean. I imagine they're gonna Assassin's Trophy one of our birds or something along those lines. Yep. Nope. Okay. Just fetching for tap land. That's fine. I actually wouldn't mind turning one of these birds into a land, I don't think. I don't care that much. I do want the birds, don't get me wrong, I'd rather have the birds than the land. But as far as trade-offs, a 1/1 for a land is okay. Bloodbraid. Scavenging Ooze. Well, alright. Don't really want to see Scavenging Ooze because that can eat my Battle Screech. And I want that. But they're tapped out, so I can just kill it first. We're just going to kill both of these things. Not going to block, just going to take the 3 and then kill the Bloodbraid. It's not like we don't have enough removal in hand, right? Well, Fatal Push the Scavenging Ooze. Go for the Throat, the Bloodbraid. And then attack for 2. gonna hold on to the caves. If they Inquisition us now, they'll take the Fatal Push, but since there are already 2 Inquisitions down and we haven't seen a Thoughtseize, we probably won't see one for a little bit. We won't see another Inquisition for a little bit. They're the king of drawing 2 Inquisitions in a row, though. They had 2 Inquisitions in a row last game, 2 Inquisitions in a row this game. Oh. They're gonna scavenge and use my Battle Screech. I wanted that. Well, we do get to Fatal Push that, though. So, that's something. Alternatively, we hold back the Fatal Push for the sake of a potential Tarmogoyf. I definitely think we don't Fatal Push this turn. There's no reason to. But, because again, if it's instant speed, cast it on your opponent's instep, unless there's a reason to before then. But, I don't know if they're playing Tarmogoyf, and so I don't want to hold Fatal Push for a card they don't have, you know. Well, we now have a 3-turn clock, technically. Fortunately, they have drawn a creature-heavy hand rather than a planeswalker-heavy hand. Oh, Maelstrom Pulse, that hurts. Do I want to Fatal Push the Spirit to save the other spirits? I think I do that. Feels bad. It's definitely not optimal, but we need the clock. Lightning Bolt? Yep. Yeah, see, we would have been down to a single 1/1 had I not done that. Now we have 3. If we can draw an Anthem here... Anthem? That's something. We are a lot better off. We'll have a pretty quick clock soon. So 3, 6, 12. So we actually still have we have the same clock. We've not lost any time on the clock. Again, this single target removal is bad against us because we are playing so many creatures per card we draw, per token creator we draw, that it's really hard for them to blow up a whole lot of our stuff without Maelstrom Pulse. Another Maelstrom Pulse here would be devastating, though. Win in 6, that's not Maelstrom Pulse. And it's something we can kill. They're gonna minus on one of our spirits, though, or maybe our bird, just to make the Maelstrom Pulse better, yeah. Yep. Win in 6 does slow down our clock, all on its own, because we do have to kill it. They are running Tarmogoyf. Look at that. If we draw an Anthem here, I think we just go for their face. No, we will still kill Win in 6, but besides that, we'll go for their face. I'd like to draw an Anthem? Nope. God dang. God dang. Alright, well, we do have to kill Win in 6 here. Attack Win in 6, attack Win in 6, and the rest at MTG, just to be clear, yep. So that lost us a turn off of our clock, which sucks, because now their clock is faster than ours. So if we don't draw something here, we just lose. But an Anthem is lethal, assuming that they don't have a removal spell here. Liliana. That's a removal spell if they want to take it down. Hopefully they notice they have 0 cards and try to take it up. Nope. Okay. Yep. So now an Anthem is no longer lethal. So the only out we have is going to be a Saphara. Because the Saphara will be big enough to block the Tarmogoyf. Don't know why they're tapping mana. Oh, Scavenging Ooze, right. Gonna make a big Scavenging Ooze. Gain some life. So I think we just scooped to not drawing as far here. Or removal spell. I suppose a removal spell keeps us in the game. Because there's no point in chump blocking with spirits at this point if we can't present a clock. Huh. Well, we can deal 2 damage to them, bring them down to 8. Then make some Battle Screech tokens. Make 4 tokens. Chump with 2 of them. We're technically not out yet. We're technically not out yet. 1 at Liliana, 1 at their face. Right, and then 1 more at their face. Because we only need, we only need 1 untapped spirit to flash back this Battle Screech. And we're going to use both of the flashback tokens to chump block. Fortunately, there's no chance here for them to Scavenging Ooze, I don't believe, because this just goes directly on the stack. Yeah, that's too late. Sorry, opponent, but you had no... There was no opportunity for them to Nile Spellbomb out a Battle Screech. Because it just goes directly under the stack. That is the magic of holding priority, ladies and gentlemen. It is a thing that is very hard to track in paper Magic, but MTGO does it for us. So we don't have lethal, but we're not out of the game, which is something. Now we're out of the game, yeah. Let's see them eat the Bloodbraid and then we lose. If you eat the Bloodbraid, I'll concede here. I just want to make sure you know what you're doing. Opponent. We are acting like we have a Fatal Push in hand, which is just, you know, the smart thing to do here. Are they gonna... They don't... Yeah, they're gonna eat. Can't see what they're targeting. There we go. Okay. Yep, there we go. Alrighty then. 3 wins, 2 losses. To the wrap-up now. Let's talk about the deck. Oh god, wow. That was the best deck that not quite. No, I'm sorry. Uh Mono Green Tron was a very good deck as well. Mono Green Tron did probably just as well. This deck functioned perfectly for what it is. I am very happy with how this deck came out. We are running a little bit low on black sources, but it didn't feel bad. I never felt like I needed I needed more black sources in the mana base. I never really wanted a swamp, even when I got Strip Mine Field of Ruined. Because there's just so much white, and there's only 4 black, well, I guess 8, but 4 black mana in the main deck. As for the sideboard felt like it needed some work. Disenchant didn't feel like it needed to be in here. Felt like a useless card. Pithing Needle did great. I think it probably, unseeingly, because we didn't see them actually cast a fairy, but I feel like it did win us the Jeskai control matchup, because I feel like they probably just never cast the Teferi since they knew it wasn't going to do anything. Nile Spellbomb, we didn't get to see that walk because we didn't get to see any graveyard matchups, but I feel like it worked perfectly well. Damping Sphere, Mono Red Prowess, MVP, right there. Won us the game all on its own. Duress, again, we didn't really get to see this work super well, but I think it has its place. Mortify, kind of in the same realm as Disenchant. I think the mana cost is just too high for our deck. I think it should really just probably be another Fatal Push. As sad as that is to say, I think just another 1 mana removal spell is what it needs to be. Because against in the Jund matchup, it definitely felt like I just wanted as much 1 mana, 2 mana removal as I could just stuff in there. Deckenstone and Path to Exile are both cards that would be great in this deck. If you're looking at upping the budget, of course. I mean, Deckenstone only ups the budget by like 5 ticks. So if you want to spend $5 more on it, absolutely trade these 3 cards out for Deckenstone, and then probably move Fatal Push and both go for the throats into the side. That's what I would do. And probably, make room for another one somehow. Because maybe just cut the second, go for the third entirely, move the Fatal Push, and go for the third into the side, and have 4 Deckenstone in the main. Or Path, of course. Path as well. That's really how I felt about the deck. I felt like the deck was strong. We beat meta decks. We beat Jeskai Control. We beat the other deck, Mono Red Prowess. We technically beat Dimir Control because the guy rage quit on us after game 1, which I'll take as a win. If the deck is doing well enough that it causes a rage quit, I will consider that a win. Shambling Vent felt great. I feel like I wouldn't want any more than 2. Concealed Courtyard came in tapped too often because we aren't an aggro deck. This definitely would be better as a Temple of whatever, the black-white Shockland. Caves of Koilos felt fine because our life total was rarely ever relevant. Only relevant against the Prowess deck, and even then we never came close enough to dying that Caves of Koilos was in the equation. We either were going to die from a lot or not die at all. Safara. How do I feel about this card? I don't know. We only got it on the field once, and I think our opponent immediately scooped to it. So that's something. That's a sign, But it it definitely does feel like a win more card. By the time we have 4 creatures out, and we can cast Sephara for 1 mana, we don't care that we have Sephara anymore. I feel like Sephara might be better as just 2 Thraben Inspectors to get more draw power in the deck, because we are really hurting for that. So yeah, that's my opinions on the deck. That's how the deck went. The games were awesome, and I had a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, please give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a comment on YouTube, of course, and thank you so much. Okay, bye-bye.